The House of Representatives has approved a White House request to claw back 2 years of previously approved funding for public media. The rescissions package now moves on to the Senate. This move poses a serious threat to local stations and public media as we know it. Please take a stand for public media today at goacpr.org. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Car Talk from National Public Radio with us. My brother was playing air banjo along with the music.
And changing chords quite deftly, I thought.
I think you played the wrong chord there. I wasn't sure.
No, I played the C, and then I put the little finger down for the boom, 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 boom part.
Anyway, we're Click and Clack, the Tappet Brothers, and we're broadcasting this week from the Listener Ingenuity Department here at Car Talk Plaza. Now, boy, oh boy, our listeners are really on the ball, aren't they?
They certainly are.
You may have noticed if you're a long-time listener, i.e.
Yeah, ever heard the show once
more
before.
than a week, that we suggest many inventions here on the show. Dozens, maybe hundreds of brilliant ideas have been germinated right here on this very program.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
have?
And we could
None.
we could name some, but they
Can't
escaped
remember
us.
them right now.
Right.
But none have ever been brought to fruition, as far as we know. But hey, that's not our job.
No, that's not our job. Here's an idea. It came from a letter from a guy named David Purdy. And I think I'll just read it because it's so brilliant.
Pretty good idea.
It's a pretty good idea, man. Recently, I read that Saab, having been bought by General Motors, was including in its designs an active head restraint, which would ostensibly flip up in the event of a crash and prevent the person's head from whiplash. I mean, this thing, if you had a crash, in addition to the airbag going off, the head restraint would fly up instead of it always being in your way. Not a bad idea, actually, because they are a pain because you can't see out the back window. This got my devious mind turning, and it occurred to me that this invention could be applied in a far more productive way, i.e., administering a remote dope slap. The possibilities are endless. I mean, just already you can say the guy's got it.
I've got it figured out too. It's beautiful.
A button could be provided to passengers for use when the operator of the vehicle is in driving rage. People could have endless fun finding the radio frequency, for example, of the dope slap remote of other drivers. You're going along and boop, boop, bam. I like it. No more will we be restrained by the inability to express our displeasure at the vagaries of the nameless idiot perch man, And it doesn't end there. Why not apply this great technology to barker lounges? This is a gold mine. This is the answer for the aggrieved wife whose husband insists on channel surfing. I hear it now. Flip, 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 slap! I hope Saab and GM will take me up on my offer to develop new and interesting ways to apply this groundbreaking new technology.
Head breaking is more like If you'd like to call us, our number is 1-800-332-9287. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Yeah, hi, guys. This is Lee calling from Waterville, Maine.
Hey, Lee.
What?
How are
You
ya?
know, I spent a wonderful weekend one day.
No, that was Waterville Valley.
Isn't that the same thing?
No,
a different state.
That's in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Is it cold there?
No, beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful.
Well, not cold yet.
Not yet.
Cold yet.
Yeah,
Waterville. All right, where's Waterville, Maine, then?
Sort of in the middle part of the state.
Now, how come you don't have the Maine accent? I mean,
Well, I've been away from home for about 20 years and just moved back
it
3
would
months ago.
take more than that. Repeat after me. We're going over to Bangor to get some lobsters.
Yeah.
So what's on your mind, Lee?
A retired mechanic in Pennsylvania told me that when I change the oil in my car, in order to make sure the engine's clean, first I should drain the oil, put the drain plug back in, add a pint of kerosene to the engine, start the engine.
Start it up with the pint of kerosene in it, right?
Yeah, start it up and let it run for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Then turn it off and take the drain plug off. And the kerosene is sort of sloshing around in there. and it's cleaning the engine.
Just like the hungry water theory.
Well,
Doesn't that sound good? I mean, just the thought. You can imagine it. There's got to be imagery involved, When there's imagery, you can see the kerosene splashing around, washing everything off, and taking all that other junk down to the bottom.
First of all, that is the essence of marketing. If something doesn't sound good, why did I buy my Sobacawa pillow? Because I watched that 3-hour infomercial, and it sounded
What about the George Foreman grill?
That sounded great, too. I bought
What
that,
about
too.
the vacuum thing?
I got that. That's the
What about the juice tiger?
I got that, too. Because they all sound good.
They sound
just
good.
like this does.
Just like this
It's
does.
important, however, that if you ever do anything like this, that you never mind.
Am I going to be hurting the engine?
Yeah.
Oh, are you ever? Well, see, what you don't realize, what the imagery doesn't tell you about is the fact that you're running the engine now, granted it's only for 15 seconds, without any oil in it.
Right.
Why would you want to do that?
Kerosene is a lousy lubricant. It does have some lubricating properties.
Did you ever try it, Lee?
No, I've asked people, mechanics, engineers, and they've all scratched their heads and said either don't do it or it sounds like it might work, but I don't know.
Well, I have to say that I fell prey to this very scheme almost once because I had a GMC Suburban, which started burning oil, and I had a choice of rebuilding the engine or trying every harebrained scheme that anybody mentioned to me. One theory, of course, was drain out half the oil, replace it with 2.5 quarts of kerosene, and run the engine for an hour.
And bake in a medium oven.
350 oven. So I say, I'm going to give it a try, Frank. And he says, go for it. So I park the thing outside, and I drain out 2 quarts of oil, and I replace it with kerosene. I start the baby up, and it comes up to temperature, and the entire West Cambridge area was enveloped in a cloud of white smoke. This thing started blowing smoke. You couldn't believe the amount of smoke. We were out of business for 3 days. No one could find us. But all the time that the smoke is pouring out, what am I thinking?
It's cleaning out the dirt.
You know what that smoke is?
It's freeing up the rings.
Freeing up the rings.
It's providing lifeblood to the engine.
And it may look bad now.
It's renewing, rejuvenating.
Exactly. So after an hour, I drained out the oil and kerosene mixture, and I replaced it with 5 quarts of beautiful new fresh oil. It continued to blow smoke for the next 4 years. Because I ruined it. I completely wrecked it.
It's all right to use as a last-ditch effort. It may free a stuck set of rings, and if it doesn't, you've lost nothing except a couple of quarts of kerosene.
Exactly, because you're going to have to rebuild the engine anyway.
So we ended up taking his engine out and rebuilding the whole thing. On the other hand, if you have an engine that's running okay...
And it is.
Don't do it!
No.
Okay.
Was this guy retired or defrocked?
Maybe both.
Well, thanks for asking, Lee, and welcome back to Maine, and thanks for calling.
Okay, guys, thanks.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wacko theories are hard to kill.
Oh, I'm telling you. I don't mean this in a bad way, but Pons and Fleischmann are still getting lots and lots of funding. And what I want to know is, why can't we be part of that?
We're not that smart. 1-800-332-9287. Lawyer on Car Talk.
This is Martha from Atlanta.
Hi, Martha.
Atlanta.
Yes.
Yes. How are you, Martha?
I'm wonderful. Weather's great out here.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, rub it in.
Okay, I have a problem.
When all that global warming kicks in, you guys are going to be sweltering down there. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I have a 92 Subaru Loyale.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Yeah.
And when I'm at a stop and I accelerate, suddenly there's a thump underneath my car. And I took it to a guy, and he lifted it up. He looked around. He couldn't find it. We drove around the parking lot. He heard it. Still couldn't find it.
Okay.
And it's not, I don't think it's the motor mount, because I already had a motor drop one time on another car, and it didn't make any noises like that.
Oh. Motor mounts, that was going to be our first guess. I know it was going to be my first guess. I'm sorry, suggestion.
Suggestion.
Not
We
guess.
don't guess.
We don't guess around here. We're
No.
professionals. We're professionals, lady.
So it's a one thump. In other words, every time you accelerate.
And then this morning, the thump sounded like it was going towards the back of the car.
Well, it could still be a motor mount. I mean, just because you had one previous experience with a motor mount and this symptom doesn't sound like the symptoms you had last time, doesn't mean it's not a motor mount, because a motor mount can result in different kinds of symptoms.
Well, this car has actually 3 motor mounts. It has 2 that support the engine in the front and 1 that's actually called a transmission mount. But technically, it's a motor mount. And that may be where the thumping is coming from. Does it do it if you go in reverse?
What a good question. I'll bet you a nickel it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. I don't remember it doing it. It's usually going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what's happening is the transmission mount is broken, and the transmission is lifting up and hitting the floor of the car.
Ouch.
Ouch. Or maybe.
Huh.
And you're getting that boom. And if you were to slow down and then step on the gas real hard again, it may even do it again.
Get it again.
So you think that this could be the problem then?
Oh,
I think so.
Yeah, me too. I mean, as soon as you describe the problem, just motor mount, and besides, that's the answer that our producer Doug Berman told us to give you. See, we don't actually know any of the answers. Doug Berman is the guy.
No,
we gave him a list of 100 answers.
He has a random answer generator.
And he's got this big wheel out there in the control room. So when someone calls, he spins that wheel.
And then that's
whatever
the
the
problem.
thing comes on, that's the answer we give.
Huh.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you know what? I think you may be right.
And you just went bankrupt, by the way.
You are bankrupt. No, you did not go bankrupt on this one. This is cheap.
Okay. So there's a motor mount and then there's a transmission mount.
Yeah.
2 in one and one of the other.
So I would have the guy look at that.
I appreciate this information. I really do.
I can tell you do.
Well, good luck, Martha.
Okay. Thank you so much.
See you later.
All right.
Bye.
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 Guess what? The Puzzler answer and more calls are coming up right after this.
Decades ago, Brazilian women made a discovery. They could have an abortion without a doctor, thanks to a tiny pill. That pill spawned a global movement, helping millions of women have safe abortions regardless of the law. Hear that story on The Network from NPR's Embedded and Futuro Media, wherever you get your podcasts.
On the plus side, you get sponsor-free listening to over 25 NPR podcasts. On the minus side, you get fewer chances to tap fast forward on your podcast player. On the plus side, you get to support something you care about. On the minus side, you like challenges and think this makes it too easy. So why don't you join us on the plus side of things with NPR Plus? Learn more and sign up at plus.npr.org.
On NPR's Wildcard podcast, Michelle Obama says she's reinventing herself.
I don't know if my ambition has ever fully been able to actualize itself. I think I'm now at a stage in my life where all my choices are mine.
I'm Rachel Martin. Listen to Wildcard for a conversation about balancing family and personal growth with Michelle Obama.
You know those things you shout at the radio or maybe even at this very NPR podcast? On NPR's Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, we actually say those things on the radio and on the podcast. We're rude across all media. We think the news can take it. Listen to NPR's Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, look, it's time once again to provide America with the information that it's dying to know.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock's home phone number?
That would be good, but no.
No.
Unfortunately, we have the answer to last week's historic puzzler. And it was
sure
historic in that it was one of our greatest and most controversial puzzlers of all time.
Yeah.
It's a puzzler of yesteryear, and we revived it for those of you who weren't born when we first used it in 1948.
But, I mean, are you sure that you want to give out the... If I recall, the last time we used this puzzler, we kept it going for like a month because we were getting so much mail.
Well, it's up to our producer. I mean, I can only do what the producer... I mean, we don't... All we do is sit in front of the microphone.
I think we should go another week only because we know that no one who heard the puzzler before is either still alive or listening to this show again. Because there's nobody.
Really? You think you want to let it go another week, huh?
Well, think about it from your personal point of view. You don't have to come up with a new puzzler.
I've got 1,000 new puzzlers.
You do.
Well, they all stink.
You do whatever you want. I mean, I'm just pointing out that the last time we ran this little puzzler, it lasted for a month.
Well, we can let it go another week. I'm willing to let it go another week because it is, and I will restate it again.
Is that 4 times or 3?
It's 4 times. I will restate it in the second half of the show. So,
okay,
if you have the answer, you're wrong.
And also, don't forget, that means we don't have to choose a winner, and therefore we save giving away a tape or whatever, T-shirt or whatever we give away.
All right.
And
so all this stuff about we'll have a new puzzler. We'll have the same puzzler coming up in the second half of today's show, plus a brand new episode of Stump the Chumps.
Oh, I can hardly wait for that.
Oh yeah, who's gonna?
I mean, you could spend this time reading mail. I don't have any mail. The mail has been lousy lately, by the way. I just want to instead of talking about the puzzler, if I could kindly ask people, where is all the great mail that we used to get?
Telling you, email has ruined the world.
Well, that could well be, but you'd think we'd get more good mail. We do get more mail, but it isn't good.
It isn't very good. Well, maybe your standards are too high. Just read anything. In the meantime, if you'd like to call us, our number is 1-800-332-9287. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Barry Greenhall, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Hey, Barry.
Lincoln.
Lincoln's in the western part of the state, right?
No, it's on the eastern part.
Eastern.
Southeast.
What's in the west? What big city's in the western part?
There are
Colorado.
no other big cities.
Colorado. Right next to Colorado. What's the city that's nearest to Colorado?
Oh, of any size, probably Scotts Bluff.
Any size that we may have heard of.
Oh, yeah, Scotts Bluff. I remember that.
Scotts Bluff. Okay, well, you've been no fun. Anyway, what's on your mind today?
Okay, I've got a 92 Lincoln Town Car.
Mm-hmm.
And about 2 years ago, the first time we drove it down to Arkansas, which we do several times a year, in the Ozarks.
What do you go from Lincoln, Nebraska down to Arkansas for fun?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's where my mother-in-law lives.
That's where the family...
Okay.
Hey,
I won't pry into... I won't go there, as they say.
I love her dearly.
Of course, we all love them. All right.
But anyhow, when we get in these windy roads with a lot of braking, a lot of shifting back and forth, the car, when we finally smooth out, start to build up some speed, develops a vibration. And quite by accident, we found out that the only way that we can get it to stop vibrating is pull over the side of the road and stop the motion of the car. You don't have to turn the engine off. Just stop the forward motion and then start driving, and it's fine. And this has been going on for 2 years, and I've been dealing with several Ford places that have looked at it, and they can't duplicate the problem, therefore can't do anything. I have a great mechanic here in Lincoln who swears up and down it's the torque converter.
There you go. That's my choice too. Interestingly enough.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you've taken this obviously to Lincoln dealerships and technicians with all kinds of factory training.
Yeah.
Did you take it to Lincoln?
Is there a place called Lincoln? It's got to be. I mean, how can you pass it up?
Well, I mean, and they haven't figured it out. And you had the audacity
to call us
thinking that we would figure it out?
Yeah. I had to call somebody I can count on.
Have you ever, when you do pull over,
mm-hmm.
You say you pull over, you don't have to shut the engine off, and then you start up and it immediately is fixed?
Yes.
And the
And how long does it stay fixed? I'm sorry.
It may stay fixed for weeks or months, or it may happen again almost immediately.
Okay.
And when you come to the stop, the vibration is not there. So it's not vibration from the engine, it's vibration from motion.
I would say probably yes.
Has it ever stalled when you've pulled off to rest?
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
That is too bad because I was going to go along with your torque converter theory, but I don't think I like it anymore.
I still like it to some extent. I mean, this car has a thing called a lock-up torque converter, which it speeds above 35 miles an hour, locks the two parts of the converter together so that it turns as one to reduce losses inherent in the fluid coupling of a torque converter.
So that you can get better gas mileage.
And then if the thing isn't staying locked or is half locked and half unlocked, you can get this chattering which takes place, which can set up a vibration. And it can go and come and stopping the car might do enough to free it up, and then when you re-engage the transmission, it's okay after that, or it isn't okay. And I would think if they were sporting fellas at Lincoln, they might want to throw in a new lockup converter for you.
Well, I'd like to find someone that would. One other clue that my mechanic...
We don't need any other clues.
No, go ahead. We don't.
Go ahead.
Good. We want more.
But when I drive it like a little old lady from Pasadena and going kind of slow, the thing seems to hang up in overdrive. Say if you've been up at 50 mile an hour and you come down to 30 or so, it's still in overdrive. And then when you start to go pick up speed again, you get...
you have no power?
Paying little power, you goose it, and then it'll drop down into gear and go and be fine.
You may need a whole transmission.
That's it.
Tell him you wanted to replace the whole transmission. Forget the torque converter. You want the whole shebang.
Wait a minute. We're not on warranty here anymore.
Yes, we are.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That last hint was it.
Okay.
That cinches it. I mean, did you tell this to the dealer?
Absolutely. And they say they can't duplicate the problem, therefore they're not going to do anything.
Aren't they going to trust you?
No.
What do you mean? Why do they have to duplicate the problem?
Yeah, I don't know.
You'll have to take them to visit your mother-in-law in Arkansas next year.
I've invited them. Trust me.
And if the ride doesn't do it, just visiting your mother-in-law might.
Oh, I mean, that's the clincher. I mean, if it's doing that, that's an indication that the lock-up torque converter is locking up and staying locked up.
Oh, great.
So tell them to fix it now and make you a happy customer because they'll have to fix it eventually.
Great. Well, I'll do it then.
Good luck, Barry.
Good luck,
Thanks
Barry.
a lot, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, you know what it's time for?
Time to apologize to Chrysler for those untoward remarks about the Caravan's rear surprise ejection latches.
No, that'll be next week. It's time to play Stump the Chumps. For Stump the Chumps, we invite a caller from a past Car Talk show to come back and tell us whether or not the advice we gave out was useful in fixing his or her car.
And more importantly, why it wasn't useful. Okay, who's this week's Chump Stumper?
It's Carla from Homer.
Oh!
No, not that Homer. Homer, Alaska.
Alaska. Dick Nixon?
Homer, Alaska. Homer, Alaska.
That's why ours are on...
Yeah.
Homer, Alaska. Don't try to be something you know. Homer, Alaska.
Yeah.
H-O-M-A-H. Damn it. That's the way we talk, and we're proud of it.
And something happened there. I misplaced an Well, Carla called us back in January when she had a few months of darkness to kill. Her 78 Toyota pickup truck was giving her trouble. She was only able to get the thing to climb hills, get this, in reverse. Now, how do you suppose she figured out that the thing would only take hills in reverse?
I'm not sure we want to know. Anyway, it was obvious to us that she had a fuel pump problem, so we moved right on to the more important question. Why in the world would a nice young woman like Carla decide to move to the boonies of Alaska in the first place? Well, Carla, I've got to tell you,
what?
You have got to move back to civilization. You are depriving humanity of what sounds like a very wonderful person.
Yeah.
Hey, well, thank
Because
you.
I wouldn't mind having coffee with you, kid.
Oh, well, you don't have any other brothers, do you?
Yeah, I got one.
Me too.
I got one brother, and his wife would be more than happy to get rid of him. Well, we can have coffee. We don't have to have
Doesn't have to be amorous.
Come on. We can just have coffee.
Yeah, you've been up there too long. Lighten up, will you? Anyway, after we successfully fought off her advances, we explained to Carla that because her fuel pump was old and crotchety, like my brother, and barely worked, when she backed up hills, the gas was actually flowing down toward the engine, which was the only thing that saved her.
All right, let's bring her on. Carla, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, Carla, first we have to Carmen Mirandize you. Is it true, Carla, that you have not been offered any cash or prizes or a lifetime supply of Eskimo pies by anyone on our staff or the staff of National Public Radio in exchange for a favorable response here today on Stump the Chumps?
Well,
all right.
It's true, but it's never
true.
too late to try.
It's never too late to try.
All right, did you replace the pump?
Yes.
And?
And it worked.
Get out! Unbelievable!
One right answer out of the last 20.
I mean, we've had
a long run of bad answers.
Bad answers. And
Carlo, you've saved us.
it really did. We don't have to. We don't need you to elaborate because you might tell us you did something else too, and that might have fixed it. So we'll just leave it at this.
Oh.
The fuel pump fixed it. The truck runs great.
Well,
The truck runs.
It goes up the hills, at least.
You know, we don't know that either.
last I saw it ran okay.
Oh, what? Did you sell it?
I did. It kind of sold itself.
Really?
What did it do? It put its own sign out?
It was a fluke. I ran into someone who tried to buy it last year, and I bought it instead. And then we ran into them, and they asked if they could buy it, and I said yes. And so then I left that about an hour later and flew out to field camp, and they paid for it. They flew the title out to where I was at, and I signed it, and it got flown back to town. And when I came home, the truck was gone.
So who put the fuel pump in, you or them?
I did. I did it in June. It took me 6 months to do it, but it got when it got done.
Great.
So you're still up there in Homer, huh?
Yes.
Met anyone?
I met a lot of people yesterday because.
No, I don't. You know what I mean. I didn't mean like. You know what I mean by met anyone.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
No. I take that back.
No.
Have I met anyone? That's a loaded question. Okay, can I take that back and say no?
Well, you can, but I can tell by the giddiness in your voice that there is somebody.
There's something going on here, Carlo. You don't want to tell us about it?
Well,
maybe you shouldn't.
Maybe. Is it man or beast?
And if it's,
I don't know.
If it's too early to know,
that's why I should say no.
Yeah, okay. I understand that, and we will honor your privacy. But if anything happens, let us know.
Because we care about you.
Yeah.
You know that.
I feel like you're my sister, Carla, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel like I have to sort of take care of you, and I want to know how you're doing.
Right, and give you driving lessons and stuff like that.
Well, you should come up here and...
No. Let's not get into that.
Darn.
No. Yeah. No, I mean, seriously, let us know if this works out. I know there's something going on. I can tell by your voice there's something going on. It may be too early to know. So when it happens, when the sparks fly, give us a call.
Promise?
Okay.
All right, and listen, thanks for playing Stump the Chumps.
Oh, you're welcome.
And thanks for letting us be right once in a while.
And enjoy those Eskimo pies.
Oh, it's fun.
See you, Carla.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We'll be right back with more calls and the new puzzler after these messages.
The Nintendo Switch 2 is already the fastest-selling video game console of all time. That's despite the technology behind it lagging years behind its competitors.
Without saying it, Nintendo is selling a culture.
On The Indicator, we unpack the unusual business strategy that transformed a tiny Japanese toy company into a global multimedia giant. Listen to The Indicator from Planet Money wherever you get your podcasts.
Pop Culture Happy Hour, NPR's easy breezy, laid back pop culture podcast, has brought you the best in culture for the past 15 years.
That means we spent the last 15 years talking about what exactly?
Bad reality TV, actually good Marvel movies,
Actually awful Marvel movies.
reboots, pop music,
Prestige dramas.
Netflix slop. That's 15 years of buzzy pop culture chit chat, and here's to many more with you along for the ride. Listen to Pop Culture Happy Hour on the NPR app or wherever you get your podcasts.
On NPR's Throughline.
School teachers are going to be the ones that rebuild our society in a way that is more cohesive. Basically, where soldiers set down their arms, school teachers need to pick up their books.
How the U.S. Department of Education tried to fix a divided nation.
Listen to Throughline wherever you get your podcasts.
Grab a snack, make the bed, check your mail, or catch up on the latest news with the NPR News Now podcast. Listen in the time it takes you to do any of those other activities or while doing them. We bring you the stories you need to know in just 5 minutes every hour of every day. Listen now to the NPR News Now podcast.
Hi, we're back. You're listening to Car Talk from National Public Radio with us, Click and Clack, the Tappet Brothers, and we're here to discuss cars and car repair and woids, as they say in Brooklyn, woids to live by.
And I don't know if he's from Brooklyn, but John Tegler sent this to us. These are simply little mottos, words to live by.
Yeah, inspirational little messages.
Inspirational little messages. Here's one. Plan to be spontaneous tomorrow. How many of you believe in telekinesis? Raise my hand. I'd kill for a Nobel Peace Prize. This is what Catherine will like this. Don't be sexist. Broads hate that. And how about eagles may soar, but weasels don't get sucked up into jet engines. This is for Mayor. If at first you don't succeed, then skydiving is definitely not for you. I like it.
Words to live by.
Words to live by. Skydiving is definitely not for you.
Yeah, because you don't get second
No,
tries
you
and then
don't.
you screw up, huh? What do I do? All right, look, it's time for the new puzzler, but there is no new puzzle this week because we're using last week's puzzler.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to restate it, obviously, because it wouldn't be fair. And
Well deserved. I mean, this puzzler deserves another week because it's so good. And we got another week to figure out the answer.
Well, here it is. You may remember the game show Let's Make a Deal, where the contestant was presented with 3 doors. Door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. But that has a certain logic to it, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? Yeah.
Behind one of the doors is a wonderful prize, and behind the other 2 doors were crummy prizes known as zonks. Like, in the zonks would be like
Yeah, a deck of
moldy
cards.
candy bars or a
Yeah.
63 dart or something. And here's the question. You are the contestant. Monty Hall says, pick a door.
I picked 2.
Your chances of picking the winner are 1 in 3. Okay?
Yeah.
So your chances of picking a zonk are 2 in 3, right?
Yeah.
Right? You will all agree. So Monty Hall says, okay, you pick door number
2. I just picked 2.
Now, I'm going to show you what's behind one of the doors that you didn't pick. Now, of course, he knows where the winners and the zonks are, and he asks Carol Merrill to
Whoever
reveal.
she was.
she was the
Hostess there.
She was the Vanna White of Monty
Oh, yeah?
Hall. Yeah.
What's her name?
The lovely Carol Merrill.
And now the lovely Carol Merrill will show you what's behind door number
1, for example, okay? Which you didn't pick, and it's clearly a zonk because he knows where everything is. It's the 63 dart.
Yeah.
He then says, now, would you like to stay with the door that you picked, i.e. number 2, or would you like to switch to door number 3, which is the only remaining door? He's already shown you door number 1.
You'd have to be a moron
to pick
say,
one.
I'll take 1.
I'll take the dart. So the question very simply is, do you improve your odds by switching? Your odds are 1 in 3. Does it make a difference?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you think you know the answer, write to us. Ripe fruit. We haven't had any ripe fruit for a while.
No, or 2x4s, for that matter. Lumber is good.
Lumber's good, but ripe fruit is always welcome.
Ripe fruit.
Write your answer on a piece of ripe fruit and send it to Puzzler Tower, Car Talk Plaza, Box 3500, Harvard Square, Cambridge.
Our Fair City.
Ma 02238. Or if you know how to email ripe fruit, you can send it from our website, cartalk.msn.com. Just click on the Talk to Car Talk section. And if we happen to choose your correct answer at random from among all the correct answers that we receive, you'll get a Car Talk Sistine Wrench t-shirt.
Yes, indeed.
Not listed in the dictionary under fine art.
No, but
Hardly.
It is fine art.
It is fine art, actually. If you'd like to call us, the number is 1-800-332-9287. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Emily Grogan. I'm calling from Somerville, Massachusetts.
No last names, please, Emily.
Hey, good. I have a question for you. My husband and mother-in-law, who are from Scotland, say that you should never turn your wheel when you're stationary. That'll ruin your tires. And in Scotland, they teach you that when you first learn to drive.
That's right.
That's right?
Yep.
Okay,
Well,
now,
next
here's the other
question.
question. How do you get out of a parking spot in Boston, a parallel parking spot, while...
You wreck your tires.
Right. In an ideal world, first of all, in Scotland,
yes,
most cars probably don't have power steering.
Ah.
I would imagine this is the case in most of the world.
Mhm.
Power steering is an American phenomenon.
Yeah, because we're a bunch of what? Wimps. And this whole society, and this whole society, this whole culture is going to disappear because we're going to be a bunch of fat wimps. But that's okay. It'll take 150, 200 years for it to happen.
Well, let me tell you that I had a car for many years which did not have power steering. And I hated that car with a passion.
Now you have big biceps, right?
I had a Pontiac Le Mans.
Yeah.
And it was formerly my brother-in-law's car, and he very nicely gave me the car.
He's got a great upper body development.
And I know how he got it. Being the wimp that I am, after about 2 years, I started to go, I can't do this. And I had to succumb and install power steering.
Well, actually, I had this very discussion with my 16-year-old son just about 3 days ago because he was backing out of someplace, and he was doing a 3-point turn in my Dodge Dart. Which turned out to be an 8-point turn. But as
he didn't know the right technique.
As he backed up, he stopped, and then he started cranking the steering wheel to the left with the car stopped. And I said,
You're going to kill the tires.
You're going to wreck the tires. He said, what are you talking about? I said, well, first of all, you're sitting here, the car is not moving, and what do you think? What is happening to the bottom of the tire? It's grinding against the pavement.
Yeah, pinching them.
And if you recall from your high school physics, rolling friction is lower than standing friction.
Yes.
Everyone remembers. Everyone knows that. Sure. And when you sit there in the parking space and you just walk that wheel over to the left or right, you are really wrecking the tires. Right. Granted, in the grand scheme of things, it is not the end of the world. But if you did it all the time, you would have tires with a bunch of funny little flat spots on them.
Or it's either do that or take a half an hour to get out of a parallel parking space.
It's a workout. It's a complete upper body workout. It really is. You don't have to go to the gym after that. And if you do go, you just have to do lower body stuff.
So your husband and mother-in-law are absolutely right.
All right.
Cool. That's it?
They'll be happy to know that. That's it.
Cool. See you, Emily.
Now, the only other Scottish person to ever have been right
was Robert Burns.
Robert Burns. We haven't discussed Robert Burns for a long time.
His name is almost as good as Arup Gupta.
Who's that?
Who's that? You'll be reading about Arup in our next book.
Arup, okay.
Arup. Just say it. Say it 3 or 4 times very slowly because it is very cleansing and restful. Arup Gupta.
Yeah.
Arup Gupta.
Oh, that's very good.
This is going to become the mantra of the Promise Breakers, a little group that my brother and I are forming. We're going to do the Million Moron March of the Promise Breakers, and we're going to be all chanting Arup Gupta.
That's
Arup
it.
Gupta.
And you heard it right here first.
All right.
See you, Emily.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, it's happened again. You have wasted another hour listening to Car Talk. Our esteemed producer is Doug the Subway Fugitive, not a slave to fashion Berman. Our associate producer and Dean of the College of Automusicology is Ken Babyface Rogers. Our assistant producer is Catherine Crystal Ray. Back from
Nashville.
Grand Ole Opry. Our engineer is John Marston, and our technical and spiritual advisor
I believe it's Jonathan Marston. Am I not correct, John?
Jonathan, yes.
Let's call him Jonathan from now on.
Yes, Mr. Jonathan Marston.
Mr. Jonathan, yeah.
And, of course, our technical and spiritual advisor is Mr. John S. Lawler. Our public opinion pollster is Paul Murky. I think he's here in his arm today. It's Paul Murky of Murky Research, assisted by statistician Margin of Error. Our director of new product repair is Warren T. Myfoot. Our staff butler from the Car Talk Mumbai division is Mahatma Cope. From the New Delhi office, our blues coordinator is Muhammad Untolmi. Our document security expert from the island of Jamaica is Euripides Upman. Our Boston traffic director is Laura Biden.
That's good.
Our director of moral support is Hugh DeMann, and our Leo Tolstoy biographer is Warren Peace, author of Leo Tolstoy by Warren Peace. Our chief counsel from the law firm of Dewey, Cheatham & Howe is Hugh Lewis Dewey, known in the leaf piles of Harvard Square as Huey Louie Dewey. Thanks so much for listening. We're clicking clack for Tappet Brothers. Don't drive like my brother or my sister.
Especially my sister.
We'll be back next week. Bye-bye.
And now, with an important announcement. Here is Car Talk Plaza's chief mechanic, Mr. Vinny Gumbaz. Vinny?
All right, now listen up. Now, if you just want a copy of this week's Car Talk show, which is number 42, here's what you got to do, all right?
All right. Are you going to give the phone number now, Vinny? Is that the idea?
No, I'm going to play when Johnny comes marching home again with my left armpit, you moron. The number to call is 303-823-8000.
And what would be the number if you wanted a Best of Car Talk CD or a Sistine Wrench T-shirt or other Car Talk?
Hey, who's making this announcement? You or me?
Sorry, you are, Vinny.
Oh, thank you. For Car Talk CDs, cassettes, T-shirts, etc., you call 303-823-8000, or you visit our Shameless Commerce division at cartalk.msn.com. You got anything to add to this, Mr. Radio Man?
No, I don't.
Good. Car Talk is a production of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe and WBUR in Boston.
And even though Carl Castle chokes on his fish sticks every time he hears us say it, this is NPR, National Public Radio.
On NPR's Throughline,
schoolhouses are less expensive than rebellions.
We've been debating the government's role in education since the Civil War.
1/10 of our national debt would have saved us the blood and treasure of the late war.
How the Department of Education tried to fix a divided nation.
Listen to Throughline wherever you get your podcasts.
At Planet Money, we know that economic jargon can sometimes feel like speaking another language.
Yeah, like arbitrage, alpha, autarky.
That's just what's in the news these days. There's also absolute advantage, aggregate demand,
aggregate supply, and this is just the A's.
Oh, animal spirits.
That's a pretty good one. Planet Money from NPR. We help you translate the economy so you can understand the world, wherever you get your podcasts.
Here on The Indicator from Planet Money, we fanned out across the country to ask how you are feeling about the 2025 economy.
Anxious, uncertain,
unfair,
turbulent,
crazy. We don't just recite the headlines, we show you how the economy is affecting your life in 10 minutes or less. Each weekday, listen to The Indicator from Planet Money, wherever you get your podcasts.